Show with your host, Marcella Blunt. It is so beautiful, beautiful today. Here in Fayetteville, North Carolina, I mean, it's been like 73, 75 degrees. I mean, absolutely beautiful. The sun has been shining, and I just want to say hello to each and every one of you guys. I pray and hope each and every one of you all have had a blessed week. I am super excited about tonight's show. When I say I'm excited for so many reasons, But before I even introduce our guest, I always have to go into scripture. And, it's been coming to me the other day. It's like I heard something saying standing in the gap. And when I heard that standing in the gap, I thought about being a voice, the radio and then the books that I've been doing and the Be a Voice book. And that's something that we're doing right now. It's not just about the Me Too movement, but it's standing in the gap of things that you believe in, standing in the gap, being that voice for God. So I truly believe we all go through things so that we could be a voice for those who are out here who are struggling, those who are out here who are afraid to speak. So I just thank God. I really do. I thank God for allowing me to be a voice, but I even thank God even more for Dr. Martin Luther King, him using him as a powerful voice for each and every one of us, for all the men and all the women and all the children, just being a voice for each and every one of us and allowing us to have freedom of speech so that we can express who we are and express what we believe in, because we should never degrade anybody for their thoughts or standing up for what they believe in, because somebody out there is going through the exact same thing, and we need to let them know that they're never alone. So before I even introduce our guest, let me just read to you what I have. I look for someone among them who would build up the wall and would stand before me in the gap on behalf of the land so I would not have to destroy it. But I found no one. So I will pour out my wrath on them and consume them with my fiery anger, bringing down on their heads, on their own heads, all they have done, declares the Lord. To me, that is so powerful. Standing in the gap for God, being that voice, being that leader. I consider myself as a leader. I'm telling you right now, I'm the type of person that everybody may be going the left, and I may say, you know what, I'm going straight forward, because when God gives me that voice to go forward, I have never considered myself a follower, because I can't follow everybody. It's not meant for me to go places that other people are going. I'm being led, and when you're led by the Holy Spirit, He's going to lead you into a different direction. It's not that you don't respect what the other people are doing, but that may not be your calling. So everybody is not meant to do the exact same thing. Saying all of that, tonight I have two amazing, amazing guests. When I say amazing, first off, before I even get started, before I even introduce both of them, I just want to have a moment of silence for every soldier, every woman, every man who are serving in the military, who have served in the military, and who have died due to being in the service, because they protect you and I as we sleep at night. They make United States great so that we could go to work, so that I could do what I'm doing right now. You listening, me talking, being a voice. So I just want to have just a 10-second moment of silence for every person serving, who have served, or who have gone on to be with the Lord due to them saving and protecting our country. All right. Thank you so much. And let's get started on Be a Voice. Tonight I have an amazing guest. He has been on before. I would like to introduce to you Terrence Walker. Mr. Walker, are you on with us tonight?
I am.
How are
Thank
you?
you. I'm doing fantastic, and I want to thank you for having me back on this outstanding show, Marcella. I really appreciate it.
And I appreciate you, Terrence. I appreciate you not because you are family, but the reason why I appreciate you for so many reasons, just being a voice. And it takes a lot to stand up and say, hey, I am a voice, and I am a voice for this, or I'm a voice for that. So tell everybody what made you decide to come back on the show tonight, and what did you want to be a voice for tonight?
Okay, well, first and foremost, I wanted to come back on the show because I enjoyed myself on my last visit, and I thought I'd have another opportunity to tell the audience on what I do on a daily basis as an insurance agent. I work for David Dean and Associates Insurance Company. We're located in Las Cruces, New Mexico, but I'm a licensed agent in North Carolina and West Virginia. So on a daily basis, I help individuals with their insurance needs to actually get an opportunity to get the correct insurance policy where they can take care of their family.
And you know what? That is very important. A lot of people don't realize the importance of that, and especially if your job does not give you that opportunity to, invest in your family, and, so I appreciate you coming back on to share about what you do as far as with insurance, because everybody really needs it. What are the age limits? Go ahead.
Absolutely. Everybody does need insurance. It's a myth if you think you do not need insurance. There's a thing called GoFundMe page. You really can't rely on that. So many people are relying on that GoFundMe page. It's a crowdfunding site, so you actually got to depend on people to come through for you, in the time of need. And you don't know that you're going to get charged. It's going to be expense with the IRS. You're going to have to pay the IRS back, in the form of 1099-K. So, when something like that happens, you really can't depend on people coming through. They could have a shortfall. So with insurance, it's there when you need it. So what I do, I try to tell individuals and families the significance of having insurance, because I've ran across so many people who lost a loved one and couldn't afford to take care of that individual. So I come in and I sit down and I want to get them the right policy at an affordable price. And it depends on the family. It depends on the size of the family. It depends on your income. So it's a lot of variables that comes into play. So I like to sit down and try to customize a policy that they need, so they can, have a peace of mind if something was to happen.
And we really, really appreciate you for that. We really do, Terrence. And that's something a lot of people need to really look into, especially, when you have families. It's very, very important, because tomorrow's not promised to anyone. It really isn't. And especially
Absolutely.
with children, our children can just get sick just like that, So a lot of times
Absolutely.
people think, as an adult, we worrying about us, but we also have to focus. We have children as well. So I appreciate you being a voice for that and coming back on the show, really emphasizing on that, because that is very, very important. So I really thank you for that. And I'm going to come back to you because you're on here also as well for something else that is dear to me, that I mentioned at the beginning, and it's about military, and I wanted to jump on that, but I wanted for you to elaborate on what you do, because that is very important right now. But I also have another guest, guys. I'm just super excited to have him on, Jimmy Harris. He is a native here in Fayetteville, North Carolina, as well as, Terrence. Terrence is also from Fayetteville, and we all are actually cousins. And it's very important that I have both of them on, because I really look up to people who have served in the military, who have dedicated their life in the military. And the reason why, because everybody has families out here who never know when their loved one leaves and have to go overseas if they're going to ever return back. And the things that goes on over there, you know, we can only ever imagine. And I just want to tell both of you before I even introduce you, Jimmy, that I appreciate all that you do, all that you have done. And, you know, I just tilt my hat to you guys for what you have done while we're at home sleeping and while we're at home watching TV, you know, going to work, children going to school. So I just tilt my hat to the both of you and everyone who is listening, all the veterans, all the ones who have passed on, and all the ones who are serving right now. Jimmy Harris, are you on with us?
Yes, I am. What's happening, y'all?
I am so excited to have you on tonight, both of you, actually. Jimmy, tell everybody who you are, where you're from, and tell everybody just a little bit about you, because you have a powerful story that I want everyone to hear.
Yeah, I do have a pretty passionate story and a very long story, so I don't want to hold y'all up on all my talking and everything, but I'm Jimmy Harris. Like she said, I'm from Fayetteville, North Carolina, but pretty much I'm from everywhere if you really ask me, because I've been everywhere and I know pretty much everything about everywhere. But my thing about the voice is about veterans, you know, controlling themselves, because I was an out-of-control veteran when I got out of the military, only because of one thing, and that is pretty much the devil, which is PTSD, which controls your mind if you don't have it under control. So I just want to be a voice for those people that need help and maybe even just need somebody to talk to, because I've been there myself and I've been through the pains and being meted up and stuff like that. So I can really feel your pain if you really need to talk. So that's my whole thing on being on this show, my show.
Well, I appreciate you even mentioning PTSD, and, you know, me learning a lot about PTSD. To me, the reason why I'm passionate about it is because there's so many people committing suicide. There's so many people that are depressed. There's so many people thought about it and didn't go through with it and still think about it today. And this is something that needs to be talked about, because this is, you know, nobody knows what you all have dealt with overseas and doing what you're doing. And it is very important. This is something that needs to be discussed, because we want you to know that you're not alone. You know, y'all wear a mask outside when you're outside around family and friends, but when you're home, that depression kicks in. Like you said, the devil he comes. And when he comes, his job is to kill, steal, and destroy anything that's positive out of what you have accomplished. And that's why, to me, it is important that we talk about this. It's important that we let that Me Too movement, that goes for PTSD too. People need to know Me Too is happening to me too. When I had our other cousin on, Poochie, you know, Harris Hessler, when I had him on, I didn't even know that he ever thought about committing suicide. I was on here crying to know that our own family are going through this. So looks can always be deceiving. You know, you go around people and they smile and they're like, hey Marcella, to give you hugs, but really on the inside they're fighting something on the inside that, you know, it's they can't control. Do any one of you all want to elaborate on that?
Well, yeah, I'll go ahead and then tell about some experiences that I've had I am a war veteran. I was in 1990. I was in the Persian Gulf War. We are also Iraq. So I've been on the battlefield, and I upon my return home, I've had some colleagues and some close friends of mine that are not here anymore today. A few of them went into the criminal facilities because of the PTSD issue, and it's a disease that will sneak up on you unexpectedly. You would never know you have it. I'm a candidate myself. I didn't know that I was diagnosed with PTSD in 1991, and I went and got help. And I'm gonna tell you, God is good. He brought me a long way, and it's a disease that definitely needs to be talked about. But if you manage it and go get help, you'll accomplish anything. So I didn't let it stop me. I stayed positive, and I think that anyone that has this disease, PTSD, they need to seek help, and they just got to stay positive because it can be defeated. But you have to go seek help and get the correct treatment for it.
Now, let me ask you a question, okay? So, and thank you so much for sharing that, Terrence. But let me ask you a question. So, how would a person know that they have it? I mean, can they? A lot of times, and the reason why I ask this question is because sometimes people may have already went into the military with anger issues. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And
right.
They come out. They see some traumatic things happen. They come out, and then it's just worse.
Right. Well, it has 3 stages. It can happen. It'd be intrusive, arousal, or avoidance. What I mean by that, intrusive, you might have flashbacks, nightmares, body memories, or frightening thoughts, while you sleep. Or if you hear a loud sound, we used to call it shell shock. So some of those symptoms may be going on, and that could be an indication of PTSD. Or you might have arousal would be anger outbursts. You might be startled easily, or have this jumpiness going on with you when you hear a siren or the police department or something like that. That could be an indication as well as PTSD. It comes in many forms. It can go unnoticed. When it happened to me, I didn't know I had it. I thought I was pretty much tough. I said, it didn't happen to me. I'm not doing any of those things. But as life went on, I was having dreams. I was having nightmares, and it's very critical. It got to a critical point, and I just had to go. I went and got some help, and it's a great opportunity for you to sit down with a counselor, someone who has the experience, to talk about PTSD and get that help. And I'm gonna tell you, it's treatable, and you can live a good life. Because I've done it.
Well, I thank you for that. And there are a lot of people who are out here who think they don't have it. And like you said, there's help out there. So seeing a counselor, a lot of people think, I'm not going to talk to nobody. They can't help me. They don't understand. And I get it. Just like someone like me, never experienced any of it. So me trying to tell someone, hey, I need you to, maybe you should go get some help, they're going to look at me like, you don't know what I'm going through. And I would respect that, So a lot of people, they thinking that person may not know really what I'm going through, what I'm dealing with. They've never been over there. They've never seen this or seen that. And I would have been like, no, I know me. I've been like, no, but, I want people who are going through it to let other people know that, hey, Me too. You're not alone. This is something
Right.
that's serious because y'all, when you went into the military, did you ever think this would happen? Because you dedicated your life to protect and serve all of us, all of us.
All right, let me say something to you. I basically respect T and people like it of his nature because of the fact that they went into the war zone. They actually seen way more than I did because when I went into the military, I got pretty much a very good job, really working in the lab, testing gas. So when I went to Iraq, it was I was riding with lieutenant, the generals and stuff like that. We were so protected that it was like a force field around us. The reason why, of course, at the FOB, I heard all kind of bombings and stuff like that. But the reason why I had PTSD is because of the fact that I was in a very traumatic accident in an 871 truck, which is like a big flatbed 18-wheeler like you see riding down the highway. We actually rolled down a mountain. I was thrown 100 feet, and the truck on top of me. Luckily, the truck didn't roll on top of me. It rolled on top of my left leg. So I actually beat being an amputee by the grace of God. So that's just a little bit of my story, and just to elaborate on what Terrence said too. People don't really know they have PTSD because I always thought I didn't have it, but at the same time I had people telling me, "Oh, you're acting different. You're doing this,
right.
You're doing that," but I'm ignoring it. I'm ignoring it because I'm like, that's not me, like I'm happy-go-lucky Jimmy, everything good, until one day, I think I'm just going to keep it real, like I woke up out my sleep just swinging and I actually hit my wife, and and it was not nothing intentionally for me to do, but then I knew, I'm just giving you a real example, I needed to get help, So I went and got help, and now I meditate. And this meditation I got with somebody that does yoga and studies karma and karma suits, things of that nature, and it has really helped me. It turned me around 180, basically, for real. So, just getting help is the first battle, because it really is a battle to get help at first. You just have to really just go get it and just be like, look, I done been through this, so I need to go get help.
Well, Jimmy, I remember when that happened with you. Everybody was devastated, and especially
I was in a coma. Coma, so I was really dead, and I'm just gonna testify right now. The only reason that I'm alive is because I think it's like 14 days that they keep you on life support. On the 14th day, they're about to take me off, and the nurse grabbed my hand just to see my pulse or something, she said, and I squeezed it. She said, he's alive. And they kept me on that thing, and I woke up probably about 3 days later, and just by the grace of God and my angel that I have, just coming out of that is just, I don't even think about it, so I just try to, move on, but, I have ways of meditating and stuff to get my mind off of it.
Well, I thank God for God being God. I do, because you going through that is so traumatic. The whole experience.
I lost most of the blood in my body.
Yeah.
So who was keeping me alive?
Mm. And you know, that's what I love about your wife, because she has been there. I just love her so much. She has been a truly amazing woman of God who supports her husband, who has been there. And Jimmy, I just love her. I love her. I love that you met her over there. I love the fact that she, you know, and not just because you're my cousin, but because she is just a truly amazing woman of God who understands. And God knew what he was doing. He wasn't ready for you anyway. This testimony is going to help someone. I believe it right now. It's going to help someone, because for you to go through and actually be on life support, you know, and to be in a coma like that, and then God say, listen, no, it's not your time, and to bring you back. People don't understand. It changes your whole life, your whole way of thinking about life in general.
Yes,
I mean, it does.
It makes you really just enjoy everything about life instead of complaining about stuff that may go on. Little stuff that goes on in your life, that's just little and minuscule to anything that anybody's going through. I'm not saying that I've been through the worst. There's people that have been through worse than me, and that's another thing that I want to talk about. There's people that have been through worse things. I thought I've been through the worst thing ever in life until I heard this guy scream in the hospital, and nobody would go help him because they was helping other people, and he was known to just scream out like that. So, you know, people would have to just sit there and listen. And I mean, it was blood curdling where I had the biggest goosebumps I ever had in my life. And I'm talking about, I had one leg, and I got my crutches, and I walked over there to see what was wrong with this man. This man didn't have no arms or legs. So it's something way worse than anything you can complain about that happened to you. So anybody that wants to complain about anything, go to church.
That's the reason why I tilt my hat to every person that are serving or who have served or who have gone on to be with the Lord serving, because you all have been through some things, and not only been through, there's some who probably haven't yet because they just get started, but you're protecting us, you know, as we sleep at night and you all are standing on duty, late nights, no rest, you know, out there and having to deal with people out here bombing this person and that person and children, you know, they use the children, you know, and it's just this world right now that we're living in. It's just terrible. It really is. I'm sorry to say, but it really is, because you all are being a voice for something that is so powerful that needs to be a voice for, you know, and I can't thank you guys enough for what you have done for the United States of America. If nobody else tells you, and I'm not just saying this because you're my cousin, but I'm talking to everyone that's out here listening, that's serving in the military. I support you. I salute you. I thank you. And I can't thank you enough, because some people don't make it home, you know. And Jimmy, I thank God that the Lord allowed you to stay to share your testimony, because you don't realize how that's going to help somebody else.
And you see that pretty little girl I got?
Yes. Yes. She wanted to come back home with us.
I know, she was crying about it.
Yeah, last week, and she wanted to go with Mama. I went to give her a hug. She said, no. She said, I want to go with you. I was like, oh, but you're coming to the graduation. She goes, oh. That's the only way I got a hug from her. I love her to death. She is gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Right.
Your whole family is just so beautiful. I thank God that he allowed you to be here to have a beautiful young lady like her. I mean, she is gorgeous. She is, Jimmy. And you have a lot to be thankful for it. And I just, you know, knowing the fact, I never would have known that you even, you know, suffer from PTSD. Never, because a lot of times we don't look like what we come from, you know, or what we've been through. A lot of times we wear a mask and we walk around with this mask on our face. And when we see people or when we're at work, we're like, hello, hi, I'm Marcella, and I put on this smile.
At first, I did not wear a mask when I got back to the States.
Mm-hmm.
So
you did?
I got a little out of control, but I got myself in control. But like you said, like the people that do wear masks and stuff like that, I really feel sorry, because if I would have held all that in, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, maybe I would have been worse, but you know, it happened.
But were you angry? Were you angry?
I was angry. I
yes.
was mad at the world. I thought this country was against me, and you know, stuff like that. Stupid. I was stupid. You know what I'm saying? Stupidly thinking that somebody tried to kill you. You know what I'm saying? Like I was on other stuff. That's why I had to go get help. You know.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Like you said, it comes in different phases.
Yes.
In different phases.
It does. It does. And Terrence, you shared with me a story of a soldier that did he commit suicide or something? Share that with us.
Well, before I do, I want to thank my cousin over there as a veteran to another veteran. And I love you. I love you, man. I love what you stand for, and I love you having the consciousness, the fortitude to come out of that hole that we all was in when we came back. So kudos to you.
Thank you so much, cuz.
And to all the veterans out there in armed forces. But yeah, Marcella, when I got back, I had a close friend of mine. I don't really want to call him names because he's serving time right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he's actually serving time right now for going into a restaurant in our hometown and taking the lives of I think it was 4 people. That was very shocking and devastating to me when I learned that happened. So I know it was PTSD. It was wreaking havoc on everyone in my unit, everyone that that went to Iraq. But I say I'm blessed and I'm thankful that I chose another route and got the treatment that I needed to. So I'm just telling all the veterans out there. What was that?
I don't want to cut you off, but man, I respect you so much to be in them trenches, man. For real. Because I couldn't.
Man. Yeah. I respect you.
No, I'm not going to say that I couldn't have done it, but I got a good ASVAB score. And they offered me that job, and I said, that one right there. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know what, Jimmy?
White coat, man.
You know what, Jimmy? You wore that uniform, and that's all that matters. You had that uniform on, and you fought for this country. So I commend you, and I appreciate you for your service. So it doesn't matter what position that you held over there. You had that uniform on, and you served this country. Yeah. So you should be proud.
Y'all got around them, so I did do something.
You did a lot, man. I love you, man, and your testimony is touching because I've seen a lot of, like I said, a few of my friends are not here today as we speak. So
I know you lost a lot.
It's a blessing. It's a blessing to be here.
Yeah, I know it is.
So what was he saying as far as, because I'm lost. So what was he talking about, your job in the military?
For me?
No, Terrence. Yeah, when you were talking to Terrence.
Oh, my bad. I cut him off. My bad.
No.
You're good. You're good.
No, I'm kind of lost.
I respect them. You know what I'm saying? For all the stuff that I didn't have to do. That's all I was saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just making sure I'm following.
Everybody was a team. You know, we was a team. Everybody in this United States Army.
That's the real soldier.
Marines,
the real soldier.
Coast Guard, reserves. Everybody was a team here. The strong armed forces that the United States have. So we were a team.
We do.
And we accomplished the mission. And you know, my hat goes off to everyone who served and still serving.
Everything makes us strong. All those positions make us strong, though. So
absolutely.
I'm not downplaying it, but you know what I'm saying, T. I respect you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I understand. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. I'm gonna ask both of y'all the same question. I'm gonna go to you first, Terrence. What made you decide to go into the military?
Well, this is a long story, but I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Okay. Well, I was in college. I think I was at Fayetteville State University. I was a senior. And at that time, you as a young man, you know, you start experimenting with certain things. You know, you want more money, more financial independence. And it was this thing called student loans, you know. I'm like, man, I need some more money so I can take care of this. So that's why, this thing called the GI Bill started surfacing. I'm like, you know what, that's a good opportunity for me to see what this is all about. So I actually went to see a recruiter reluctantly because I knew my mother, she wasn't going to go for it, but you know, I felt I was 25, I think 24, and I just wanted some financial independence. So I went to see a recruiter, and he sweet talked to me. He kind of, you know, gave me all the bells and whistles. I get to come back home. I go airborne. So I'm like, airborne? You mean I'm talking about a perfectly flying aircraft? He said, yeah, but you get to come back home to Fayetteville. I said, okay. It's called 82nd Airborne. I was like, all right, I can do that. So, I went to Fort Sill, Oklahoma, and served my basic training there. And I'm thinking when all this is over, I'm coming back to Fayetteville. But that wasn't so. I forgot in 6 months. I forgot that I signed that contract to jump out of an airplane. So I ended up going to Fort Benning, Georgia. I just was in shock. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. What have I gotten myself into? Whatever. But I did get the opportunity to come back to Fayetteville as an airborne, and I did that for a long time, and I was successful in doing it. It just got too comfortable for me, and I wouldn't even check my equipment because I just knew I could feel it. I could feel the tightness or the position of my equipment. I just knew what it felt like. So I was that was being an idiot. So I just I need to go ahead and stick to the script and check my equipment, make sure I'm safe so I can come home to my family. And I had a son, and I needed to get home to. So that's when it all started for me.
Oh wow! What about you, Jimmy?
Well, where it started for me was I played football. I actually moved from Carolina to Texas. I got heavily recruited into football, and so I went and played football at a school. And like Terrence said, like when he was at Fayetteville State, hey, that money just don't look right in my pocket, like right now. You know? $5 and them $1 chicken sandwiches ain't gonna get it. So, I tried to find other things to get money and stuff like that, and it led me into, getting with the wrong crowds, getting into a little trouble, not nothing real big or anything like that. So somebody suggested. So I went to 2 schools, played football, and did all that, and I was like, man, I'm burnt out with football, so I'm gonna go stay with my parents. And it was like, oh, I can't stay with my parents like this. Keep on working this little whatever job. I was working at a plastic plant in Kentucky, and it was just like paycheck after paycheck, and just I need to go and get me some school for free. So like you said, somebody sweet talk. No, Marcella, you know who they sweet talk? They sweet talk my mama.
What?
Yeah, they sweet talk my mama, right? Because you know she worked at the bank. She worked at the bank all her life, right? So she was working at what was it called? I can't remember the name of the bank in Tennessee. It was like in Martin, Tennessee. But anyway, yeah, you know, we moved all around and stuff. So he sweet talked her, to make a long story short, and she came and was like, oh, you need to go to the Army, and I remember this was around when Mr. Mitchell got sick. That? So they needed somebody to come in, you know, help Mr. Mitchell. I did a lot for that man, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yes, you did.
You feel me? So, I'm sorry, Lord. I didn't need to say that. But anyway, make a long story short, it was just a dead end. I just got to a dead end. And it was like, take an ASVAB test. I took the ASVAB test, and I got a high score on it. I mean, high score. You know what I'm saying? So I go in there, and they, you know, Terrence, would they be like, oh, what job you want to be, and this and that, or whatever. Or they'd be like, oh, you going to be this job, you know. But I got to choose my job, actually, and it was a list. And I was like 4 stars, 5 stars, and this and that. And I was looking at all the 5 stars. I was like, can I be one of these 5-star jobs? Like, yeah. So, so I was like, let me get that one right there. And he was like, yeah, you ain't got to do nothing but be in the lab and this and that. I was like, for real? And he was like a real dude. He was telling me for real. He was like, yeah, you going to go to Germany, and you going to do this, and you going to do that, and you going to boom, boom, boom. I'm like, man, I need that job. So that's what I did, man. And it was an extensive AIT period. Like, I went through a lot of, like, I'm basically a certified chemist. So I went through chemistry, basically like a whole chemistry class. And to test gas and stuff like that, you have to have a clearance and stuff like that. And I had to get big waivers and stuff off the stupid stuff, misdemeanors I had when I was young and stuff like that. But I never did nothing really bad, so they gave them to me. I actually got to be in that job, and it was only like 3 soldiers in there, and there was 3 civilians. So they was basically they outsourced that job to civilians now because they don't want the soldiers doing it because it was taking up time, soldier time. That's what they said, quote unquote. But that's fine because I can understand that. But I was lucky. Shoot, I was lucky.
So did either one of you all regret going into the military?
Not at all. Not at all. I think it gave me the foundation. It helped me become a man. I think any young man that doesn't have a vision or have a path to what they want to do, I think the military is a great resource for them. You know, it can help pay for your education, help you financially, and help you become an adult. I think that's a good opportunity for a young man or a young lady, to actually think about going into the service if college or after high school is not an option.
I see.
Okay. What about
that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. But I would like for an individual, a young man or a young lady to have the opportunity to go to college. I think get that degree. So once you get that degree, you can go into the service as an officer.
Officer, yeah.
That's what I wish I would have done. Going into the service as an officer, beautiful thing.
LaDante, before he got his scholarship, the Marines kept calling me for LaDante. I was like, oh no, he is not going into the service. My son is going to college. Oh, we can send him and pay for him. I said, I know how the military works. I've been in the military all my life. My father was in the Army. I said, and my ex-husband was in the Navy. I was like, please, I don't need you to try to tell me anything, Yeah, and now that Dante's about to graduate in 2 weeks, if he chooses to go in whatever service, I know he doesn't want to, but I'm just saying that I wouldn't stop him now, if that's what he chose to do. I wouldn't want him to, but he is his own man, But I just, like you said, going in as an officer, that's good because, having that 4-year degree and, you could say, hey, this is what I want to do or however it works. I don't know. But yeah, I just, Jimmy, you never answered my question. I'm sorry.
See, I get to talking and I get off the subject and stuff like that. You gotta bring
Life
me back.
Is good.
I said you gotta bring me back.
I know. Do you regret going into the military?
Oh no, I don't regret going into the military because, like Terry said, man, it was just an experience of a lifetime because I got to travel all around the world while I was in there. And,
absolutely.
And I can't really downplay anything that I did except maybe getting smoked, but that's about it. You know what I'm saying? Like running 8K, runs.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can say bad about it, except I got hurt.
Yeah.
But I mean, everybody goes through that.
Right.
You say, Stephen?
Right.
But it made
keep
me
you physically fit. Exactly.
You know what? It made me physically fit. You right, and it made me think totally different about what I would do out in the world after I got out. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as being a man and taking care of my own responsibilities and just being a man.
Right.
'Cause I wasn't manning up, so I kind of needed that military guidance because I should have been playing football. Really, you know what I'm saying? I should have been in the league, all of that. That's my thinking, and that's what people always tell me. So I'm not trying to brag or anything, but I had that avenue of the Army to take me to a place where I thought I wouldn't go because I never thought I would go into the Army. I told people before, you do things that you always say you're not gonna do, right?
Right.
What did I say at the party? I ain't gonna say it on the air. But I said one thing at the party, and I said I wasn't never going to go into the military.
Mm-hmm.
I always said that. And
I said the same thing, Jimmy. I did.
I always
well,
said.
I never would have known I would have my own station, being a voice.
Right.
I never would have known that, I know I've always liked to talk, but I never knew that the Lord would say, hey, I need you to start writing plays. I need you to start writing books. I need you to now be a voice for my people. I never would have known, because we're so busy doing what we think is right. But sometimes God will change our whole demeanor. He said, no, I want you to walk in your own identity. I don't want you to be like this person or that person. I need you to walk in your own identity. And I honestly feel like the both of you all were in the military for a reason. You didn't just go in there just because you wanted to pay for your school. You went in there because you also knew that was the direction that the Lord was sending you for so many reasons. You all both grew up in church. You're both saved. You never realized probably how you spoke life into other people, fellowshipping and everything that you do. So I just want to apply to both of you. I thank the both of you. I love the both of you so much for, doing what you're doing. I hate that you all had to go through things in order to, have a reality check. I guess we all do in different aspects. Like when I almost died with double pneumonia, it's like it was a check for me because especially, living my life and doing this and doing that, God knows how to stop us and slow us down. Not that I was doing anything but working all the time, but you know how to say, Marshall, it's time to slow down. It's time to take a big turn, and that's what he did. Once I almost died, it was him talking to me. This is now I want you to do my will. You did what you wanted to do. Now I want you to do my will. And I think what's going on with the both of you, now you're doing his will. You're being a voice for, PTSD. You're being a voice for yourself. And you're both walking with your own identities, and that's what makes it so awesome. And I love the both of y'all so much, and I thank you so much for doing what you're doing and being a voice and letting people know it's okay to talk about it because guess what? The world is not perfect, and we're all battling something. We may not discuss it. We may not talk about it. A lot of people may not have PTSD, but they thought about committing suicide, or they're depressed all the time, or they're going through something. So I thank you guys. I know we get close to time. So, Terrence, did you want to have any closing remarks before we go and how people can reach you?
Absolutely. I just want to thank you for having me on this show, Marcella. Jimmy, thank you, man. My cousin, I haven't seen him in a long time, but I'm proud of you as well. I appreciate your service again. Yes, I just wanted to let the audience know that I'm with David Dean and Associates. I sell cancer, heart attack, stroke, and whole life insurance company. So you can actually reach me at my 919-579-2747. Again, my name is Terrence Walker. I'm the sales manager for David Dean and Associates. And please give me a call. I would love to talk to you and help you get the right policy that can fit your needs.
Thank you so much, cousin. Love you. And Jimmy.
Love you too.
And Jimmy, tell people how they can reach you and any closing remarks that you want everyone to hear or you would like to share.
Just closing remarks. Like you said, those people that want to commit suicide or have PTSD, get help because there's a better light at the end of the tunnel. But there's a brighter light at the end of the tunnel, excuse me. But I don't have social media or anything. I'll be working on that. Marshall will get back with you on that. But
it's all right.
I would give you my phone number, but
I'll give them
I'm not going to do that.
Email.
Get at me through Marshall, and then she's going to let you know what my social media is. If you really want to get at me. You know what I'm saying?
So, you guys are wonderful.
Well, we're all going to be together in 2 weeks for LaDante's celebration. He graduated with his bachelor's in psychology. I'm a proud mom.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Congrats.
I've been crying all week because I can't believe it. I'm just like, oh, my God, my firstborn, my only son, he just, he made it, and being African-American male is just, I'm so proud of him. I just thank God. This is God's doing. So I can't thank him enough. But and he also have amazing family, especially male families that's been in his life. So, I thank you guys, and I love you guys, and thank you so much for being on the show. That really means a lot to me because PTSD, I'm about to get this started with this collaboration, and I had a few other people reach out to me who would like to be a voice as well. Jimmy and Terrence and a few other people. So I'm super excited, and I just thank you guys. I love you guys, and everyone that's listening. Next Friday, be a voice at 8 o'clock, and also every Sunday, tune in. I have it's called Meditation with God. So instead of calling in, you go to my actual page, Be a Voice, com.com. It is amazing. It's just you and the Lord. You just sit there and meditate. You can write. You can talk to God. Just that alone time, just to get your week started. So thank you guys so much for listening. If you need to reach out to me, you can email me at beavoice28 at yahoo.com, or you see me on Facebook as Marshella Jones or Marshella Ellerby. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and you guys be blessed. Love you guys.